will have an open forum for our concerns and questions later on. So for now, let us proceed for sa to ang week 2 na topic. So we will be discussing scientific research approach and problem definition. So for this, our learning outcome for this topic, we will be discussing scientific research approach and iyahang mga problem definition. So first of all, let's know kung ano unsa ang definition sa market research. So market research class is the process of determining the viability sa isa ka new service or sa produkto through research conducted directly with your potential na mga customers. So, kaning market research man good will allow us or our company para ma-discover nato kung kinsa tong mga target market nato, and also makakuha ta og mga different opinions and especially mga feedback from our consumers ba, sa atong kliyente ba, sa atong mga customer ba, about sa ilahang interest towards sa atong products and services. Let's know the scientific research approach. So, scientific research approach mga class, before I proceed sa sa definition dyan niya, the people mga doing the scientific research approach, they grumble that the marketers and the insights of the professionals class have forgotten, or maybe wala sa nila na tun-an ang ways of the scientific method. Pero class, there is usually very little discussion about sa mga scientific method manggod and paon sa to siya i-gamiton or i-apply. So, class, now let us know what is the definition of the scientific research approach according sa dictionary na definition. So, here is the definition of the scientific method from the American Merriam-Webster. So, if you are familiar with the application sa itong cellphone dictionary, that is the Merriam. Okay? So, scientific or the scientific method class, it is the principles, mga procedures for the systematic pursuit of knowledge, involving the recognition class of in even formulation of mga problema, mga pag-collect of mga different data throughout our observation, and also if we will be doing mga experiment, and even sa pag-formulate na to og mga testing hypothesis na to along the way para ma-complete na to ang market research na paper. Then we also have the class, the scientific method flow chart. So the scientific method uses this systematic process to move from the need to solve ang isa ka problema sa tuang research paper via the creation of hypothesis. So this is also to test the usefulness of ato ang study or the hypothesis of the research study that we will be doing along the way. So defining the problem. So this is the part of the scientific method, this part magod requires a clear and well-defined problem na makuha na to, ma-establish na to at the start of the process of making the marketing research paper na to. So the nature of the problem manggod class, or even defining the problem, it depends on what you already know. Kung saan na to inundaan nga nahibalaan. And also, with doing the research manggod, it also need what you need to know about sa imuhang gina research. So, for example, you might be asking manggod a question like, what is the best way to test ang mga bag-o nato ng mga television advertisements nga na, or even you might be asking a question like, are any of these 3 television advertisement ba good enough to go to market with, and if so, which should I choose nga advertisement for the television? When defining the problem class in our marketing research, it is a good idea good, no, to state the assumptions in your study. So for example, if you are going to test good 3 advertisement using, for example, the Millward Brown's link test, you are making the assumption, no, that the test work. So kung andun siya, feasible dito siya nga study. So ang method good is only scientific siya if you are building your new learning on elements that you have reason to believe nga tinuod ang isa ka research-based. So now, natapos naman tao discuss with the defining the problem class, no? Let us now proceed sa pag-collecta na tog mga relevant data on our research paper. So, plus, the relevant data can include existing data such as mga reports and mga institutional knowledge na to if we are part of an institution, no? If we are working about or isa. Then, second is the observational data nato, which could be a very big type of data, but it could also be a ethnographic observation na nato. Then third is the experimental data, which includes survey responses, kanang mo survey data, passive data collected from the experiments, kanang nabuhatan na og experiment, nag-studyhan ninyo balik, and information gathered via discussion ba, pag-brainstorming ninyo via focus group. So later on, kaning focus group, i-discuss na to siya kung saan siyang focus group, kung saan ako ginamin na focus group. Sa pag-formulate na to of hypothesis. Formulating hypothesis. So in this part ng class, we have to use the mga relevant data na connected with our study. The researcher diri ang part may look to see if naabay mga predictive patterns that can be found in the information na pwede na magamit. So in this context class, a predictive pattern might be something like first kaning there is a link between trial and purchase. Second, there is a link between satisfaction and churn. Tapos, third, there is a link na between sa market share o sa market penetration. So, in market research class, we are interested good, no, in the predictive pattern na portion. Okay? So, our study good aims to be a help to a company, no, and make the business better in making their decisions through an evidence-based decision making. So the objective of most market research good class, take note of this, the objective of most market research is not to explain what happened last time, okay? Not to explain what happened last time. Ang objective sa market research class is to help improve the next decision na imuhang buhaton. Okay? Again, take note of this. The objective sa most na market research class is not to explain what happened sa ilahang past, but the market research focus to help improve ang imuhang sunod na buhaton na decision. Starting with the hypothesis. So, test the hypothesis class. So, this is the first. So, the key thing to understand about using the scientific method to work with hypothesis about humans class, and is that nothing nothing ever to be proved. Things can only be class prove in an abstract way, and also artificial worlds such as mga realms of pure mathematics in ana. So in the domain of research about people manggod class, the testing of hypothesis diri ang part is concern siya with assessing their reliability and even ang ilahang pagiging usefulness. Okay, do you understand that? So sa testing of hypothesis, especially researching about people, no, the hypothesis mo good is concerned siya sa pag-assess nato sa pagiging reliable and even useful sa ato ang study. So the more evidence na ato ang mag-gather diri na mo support sa ato ang hypothesis, the more evident in terms of in predicting the future of our market research. So now we have already know how to test the hypothesis. Now let us proceed sa key rules about sa tuan pag-test og hypothesis na to. There are some key rules about testing the hypothesis na kailangan nato siya i-follow. So first, the data used to create the hypothesis should not be used to test the hypothesis. So, para masabtan nato ni siya thoroughly, kani siya nga phrase, a high correlation manggod class between sa model o sa data na ato ang ginagamit para mo-create og model na mo show siya og consistency sa ato ang study, but also tells us nothing whether it is likely na tinuod ba siya in the future or other na mga situations. While there is a pang second na to class, the result of the testing manggod are confined siya to the situation it was tested in. So, for example, class, if we test a method manggod of predicting sales of a juice fruit, for example, dito sa South Africa, okay, we have gathered good evidence manggod for fruit juice purchasing in South Africa. Diba? Nakagather natin mga different evidences ang study. For example, imagine ninyo. So, class, with that class, a little bit of evidence manggod about sa ilahang fruit juice is a little bit of evidence about South African type of purchasing towards sa sa ilahang attack dito sa produkto sa fruit juice. So, mabalaan na nimo kung unsa klase sila nga customer in terms of the buying process nila. Sa third na part class, tests should be designed so they can disprove the hypothesis. So, if the test method is designed in such a way that it can't disprove the hypothesis method, it is useless siya. Useless na siya, wala siya pulos, kumbaga. Although class, we can never prove ang isa ka hypothesis class. We can become increasingly confident, kumbaga ba, na kay self-esteem with your study in it if we test it in a variety of ways. With also a variety of data sources nga na-prove na to as a positive in all cases. So, class, the testing of a hypothesis method should attempt to assess the reliability of the prediction na to. So, for example, mahatag ko example class para masabda na to o tama. So, if a new product method test is shown to be accurately 70% of cases, that does not mean it has failed. Okay? Even nakakuha siya 70%, dili pa na siya meaning na na-fail na yung study. It means, ang iyahang hypothesis ani class should be worded, dapat kambyuhan niya mga wordings dito to say it will be right and 70% of the time. So, similarly, mungkod ani class, the testing of hypothesis might show that in the 90% of cases, mungkod, market penetration accounted for 90% of the market share. Okay, so sorry kayo sa background na kay ang mga manok ay marag natin sabay dun sa tuang klase. So this result manggod would not disprove the hypothesis that market penetration determine the market share, And also, it would simply define the limits of its usefulness, and again, it's being a reliable source. So, a good hypothesis, good, should generate also the predictions that can be tested and could potentially prove the hypothesis to be untrue. Indeed, many people, good, would consider somebody who generated mga untestable na mga hypotheses as being little better than a charlatan nga ko charlatan ng mga type of research paper. The next, defining a problem. So, balik na sa pag-define of problem, class. So, class, again, kanin defining a problem ang good. Research is general, is related no to pag-ask og mga inquiries, and mga sometimes kay naay mga butang na mo sulpot na murag kabuti dara no na magkaroon og problem na needed jud og inquiries. Then with that, when we observe magud some anomaly or inconsistency, kailangan din nato mag-ask, di ba? If naatay dili masabtan, for example sa tong kasi naatay dili masabtan or whatsoever, we have to ask. Also nato matubag ang inyong problem if you don't ask na naaday inconsistency or anomaly in terms of the inquiries or the data that I have given you. So this anomaly class can provide the basis for a problem or opportunity. Thus, the defining a research problem or opportunity correctly is of major importance now in any type of research paper or sa bisan research study na to. If the problem kay ma-define na to siya, or dili siya exhaustive type of research, this type of research may lead to incorrect or even some cases kay naa siya kumbaga magbangga ang iyahang mga findings if you are going to do that research paper. So in the following discussion, we will touch upon ang mga issue of how can we correct the problem definition para ma-achieve na to, and also how it can enhance the chance of making the right marketing na decision na to.